My name is Pascal Guyon. I am a multi-platinum music producer. I contributed to 3 Grammy nominations, and I'm also involved with some very disruptive technology companies. I was living in a French village, a tiny French village, and I was finding a way to get out of my village, and kind of the radio was one of my only ways. So I kind of like had my tiny instruments and like was putting the radio on and playing along. I ended up being invited to play on stage with one of the most famous salsa bands when I was 20 years old. Going into the music industry can be really tricky because you actually have to deal with a lot of people in offices who are actually not that educated about music and who are trying to tell you what to do. I kept being rejected, but the thing is, to me, is like it was a way to get better. You know, if somebody tells me that I'm not good enough, it just shows me that, okay, I just need to work on that and get better. And at some point, I always managed to overachieve because I really worked really hard on what was missing, basically. I personally like to work on something till it becomes second nature. So it's extremely hard for years, extremely hard. But at some point, for some reason, it kind of becomes second nature. So you don't really think about it, but you know, that's when people start to say, oh, you're so gifted. I'm like, you have no idea how much time I put on that. Like, you know, that's the reality. It's patience, homework, willing to be learning all the time. And I like to remind people that I used to practice 10 hours a day my piano. Not only that, I did that for years, but I also transcribed hundreds of albums, like jazz albums, Latin albums, even like Dr. Dre beats. So that allowed me to really understand how production, compositions are made, basically. And when you do that, that makes you really picky, that makes you much better. You're able to serve the artist you work with much better. I think it's a big mistake that people make to be like, okay, I'm a producer, I'm gonna make music 12 hours a day. And I certainly did that, but I don't anymore. I think for me it's extremely important to have really good knowledge of different things in the world, because the biggest disruptors are actually people who manage to combine different things that was not really supposed to be meant to go together, but very often that's how they manage to change the world. Something I like to remind people, we are in a society of instant gratification. If you want to build a long career and constantly being involved with really cool projects, it doesn't come like that. You know, it's a lot of homework, practice. What I see very often in new musicians, new artists, is that they have actually an issue talking about expressing their ideas. For example, I'm creating a song, and they're like, oh, I have an idea, I have a melody idea. So they sing that to me, and I'm like, great, but where is the pulse? And very often they have a hard time to sing and to just do a regular pulse. So that's when that thing comes for education. So that little thing here that looks like a watch. So this is a vibrating metronome. It's a very simple idea, but actually pretty brilliant. So basically, instead of listening to the annoying metronome when you work, when you practice, or when you record, now you can just feel it. So I can just put it on, and that's it. Now it's pulsing, I feel it, and I don't hear an annoying beep, beep, beep. You put it on, you practice your like drum patterns and work on salsa music. It's perfect.